whenever a bunch of dudes, they just hang out together, there's always like a dead hooker not too far by.
We're not that bad. We don't kill hookers.
Really? Are you sure?
Yeah.
It's like I think I just imagine all you guys going to Antwerp or something. And you ever seen that movie though? It's like Hangover, but way before the Hangover. It's like these dudes, they go to Las Vegas and they're partying, and then one of them, takes a hooker back to the hotel with them.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah, I know. And they put they lift her up in the bathroom, and her head goes into the hook.
Yeah.
Yeah. Complete accident, but she's dead.
Oh my god, yeah. And then
they bury her in the desert, don't they? Yeah.
How did that movie end anyway?
Huh?
How did that movie end?
Didn't they all end up in jail?
I think so.
And I thought it was going to be like how they got out of it or something.
Yeah. It's like my brain making the whole thing up, like she kind of survived and then...
No, she definitely didn't survive. I think they had to cut her up.
Yes, now I remember.
Yeah, because they were puking in the bathroom and they had to cut her up.
Oh, well. Anyways, so...
Some of the same guys are in it, I think.
Well, at the Hangover.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the guy wearing the glasses or something.
Yes, who gets tattooed in the Hangover.
Yeah. Did you ever see part 2 of that?
Yeah.
Is that good?
It's alright, yeah. It's in Shanghai, I think.
Yeah.
And part 3 is alright as well.
It's the third part?
Yeah. They're not as good as the first one.
Yeah, the first one's amazing. Yeah. I remember taking my girlfriend to it. She's horrible. I'm horrible because I was laughing out loud. I'm a loud laugher. I just laugh out loud. I don't even give a fuck. It's just like, no. I was like, it's a comedy. I was like, it's a comedy. You're supposed to laugh.
And you're the only one in the cinema laughing.
Yeah, I didn't give a fuck, son. Listen, I do the makers of the film credit by laughing at their work. That's the thing. Yeah. But the opposite happens if I'm watching a horror movie. I remember which one. I think it wasn't The Conjuring. The one where this family moves into this house where this demon's trying to possess the son.
There's so many of those.
Yeah, that was fucking horrible. Because
there are some bad ones. Mama is quite a horrible one as well.
Well, horrible as in good?
I think it's called Mama, as in good. And it takes one of the kids with them.
Yeah. I scream out loud. I was like, what the fuck? There was this scene where the camera's panning like in front of this woman, and then by the time it comes back, she'd moved away and there was just like a demon type character there, and that got me. I was just screaming out, saying, what the fuck's going on? Alright, cool. So let me see. This is okay. Just increase the gain a bit since you tend to sit very far. So Audacious.
Are we on, are we?
Yeah, we've been on for like 2 minutes.
What? So they've heard everything we've been talking about film-wise?
Yeah, dead hookers and complete.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, I figured it's like, I got the idea from listening to this Esther Koo and the Gang. You ever heard of that podcast? Did you listen to a podcast?
I tend not to.
Okay.
Just because I don't have time.
Yeah.
I'm a very, very busy man.
Agreed. I'm also a very busy man. No.
You liar.
Not very busy. No, it's just the Esther Koo podcast. At the end of every episode, she masturbates.
Right. Okay.
So
we're not going to do that. I mean, I don't like group masturbation.
That's not going to last too long anyway.
Okay.
Well, at least in
Why
my
are you
case.
turned on right now? Are you?
No.
Okay. Good.
Scaring
me.
No. But welcome everyone to episode 20, the Sounds Legit podcast, the big 20. Yeah.
Yay.
Almost legal. Wait, no.
What are you talking about?
18 is legal, right?
16 is legal.
Where?
Here in this country.
Really?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Well, at least. Okay, so I don't have to feel guilty then. Honestly, because I tend not to look at anyone I perceive to be like anywhere near 16.
No, basically all the girls in from that college up the road, they're all legal because they've all got to be 16, so it's fine.
Really?
You can look at
but the parents have to. I mean,
no. The only thing the parents have to agree to is if you want to marry them before you're 18. I think.
Are you making
and that might have changed actually because when my parents married, they had to get the other parents. They had to go to Scotland to get married because you're allowed to get married at younger than 18 in Scotland.
Yes.
I think it was 16 in Scotland.
Oh, that is so
but now I think they might have changed it to this country. But yeah, it's always been 16 here, mate.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, it's 18 in America.
Well, like, I'm a 32-year-old guy and I can, like, essentially date a 16-year-old.
Yeah. I tell you what was sick. I knew a guy
in
one of my old jobs.
Yeah.
he was a weirdo. He really was, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he looked strange. He had wavy, wispy hair. When he had his coffee, he kind of drunk his coffee like this, like. And everyone's just like, what the fuck is he doing in the office? But I had a chat with him one day, and he said that his dad was 45 when he impregnated his 16-year-old mother. And they're still together.
Wow.
But you're just like, that is basically legal paedophilia as far as I'm concerned. Because if you're 45 and you're going for a 16-year-old, there's something fucked up with you, you know?
His dad must have been loaded. Was he loaded? He must have been.
I mean, some girls do like older men.
That's stretching it though.
Well, you want to hear stretching it. That is stretching it.
Yeah.
45, 16, what's that, 30?
It's at least 30.
34, no.
At least.
It's 29 years.
29 years, yeah.
Right.
Jesus.
So, but I know something even worse than that.
Go on then.
So, I probably told people about the American girl I dated in previous podcasts.
You never told me.
Was I in that conversation?
Was I in that conversation?
I don't know. I speak to so many people about this, I don't know.
You never told me.
Okay, so this girl basically is blonde, Californian girl, runs and surfs every day, perfect body, double D breasts, but with no overhang because she's so fit, right? And
overhang.
And I met her when she was 40, and I was 30.
40.
Yeah. So I was 10 years younger than her, but she was still hotter than most of the girls at my age.
Nice.
So I dated her. But she had in her house a load of pictures of her when she was in her early 20s.
Yes.
Completely naked in modelling poses.
Nice.
On chairs, on cars, all sorts of things, right? And the reason she was quite happy to show them to people is because she liked her body and she wanted to remember what she looked like when she was that age. So she was fucking stunning. Yeah. Absolutely stunning. However, she told me at that age she was dating an 87-year-old doctor.
That guy was minted.
He, as far as she was concerned, she said she didn't care about the money.
Of course not. Because the money's there.
He was a gentle and intelligent soul.
Yeah.
A bit like one of the guys we know. Yeah. And she loved him for that. And I'm just thinking, fucking hell.
That's bullshit.
When I'm 87, I want to be banging a girl like that. That's crazy. That's like 65 years younger than you, right?
Yeah.
You know, you're old enough to have your pension and someone's just been born. Yeah. And in 22 years you're going to bang him. What the fuck is that about?
She just needed money. It's all about the money.
I mean, how can she not be disgusted with that?
Money. Did I say money? Yeah, I'm saying money, yeah.
I mean,
just blinds you.
Yes, he was rich.
Yeah, there you go.
He was living in a condo.
There you go.
He probably took her on lovely holidays and all sorts of stuff, right? And so by the time I met her, amazingly, this guy's still alive, but he's in a nursing home in Florida.
It's probably comatose or something.
I'm just like, I can't believe this guy banged you. It's not fair.
I want to think about the logistics of that.
What, get your catheter out of the way and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I was like, how withered is that guy's cock?
Well, just probably more like how far down his legs are his bollocks hanging, because he's so old.
It's probably just like dragging off the carpet.
I just the whole point of it is you see porn like this where you got an old man shagging a young girl. Right? The young girl's usually not that amazing because she's just doing something for money. And she's one of the more desperate.
She's not that young anyway.
Right. And I just can't believe some girl would do it out of choice, and especially when she's so hot, she could probably go for a supermodel bloke if she wanted to, right? Which is why she dated me, to be honest. I'm joking.
I'll take that. I'll leave that.
But yeah, I mean, I was just jealous of the guy basically because this girl was beautiful at 40, but in her mid-20s, oh my god, you know, I felt sick looking at those photos because I was so upset that I wasn't the same age as her and met her back then. Because when those photos were taken, I was 12.
Yes.
You know, so she wouldn't have gone for me because that would have been paedophilia.
Yeah.
But and she showed me a picture of her in a prom dress.
Nice.
So when she was 18 and she was dating one of the jock guys,
jock guy,
as she would be, and borrowed her dad's Mercedes SL 500 to go to prom and stuff. Fucking American dream girl, basically.
Yeah. Blonde, blue eyes, California, tan skin.
Psycho.
Really?
Absolute psycho.
I think that's a part and parcel.
I mean, I'm talking Fatal Attraction psycho.
Yes.
I'd never watched Fatal Attraction up to that point.
Yes.
I told my friends about some of the arguments we'd had.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Which, she'd just be perfectly, you could say exactly the same thing to her one time, she'd laugh at it, and the next time
she'd
be
a knife.
Like, you motherfucker, I can't believe you said that to me, you bastard. And
blah,
I'd be like,
blah,
what?
Blah, yeah.
What's going on? So you never knew what she was going to like or hate.
Jesus.
And I told my mate about a few of these arguments, and he told me to watch Fatal Attraction.
Yeah.
And it scared the shit out of me, so he broke up.
Yeah.
Because I just thought, that is her.
She's
going to kill my cat.
Yeah.
And feed it to me.
Your cat, is that what you're worried about? She might just wake up.
She might kill me as well.
No, seriously, you might wake up with your cock in your mouth because she just sliced it off.
Yeah.
And she'd just be there with lipstick all over her face.
She went apeshit because I was talking to another girl in the office, right?
Yep.
And she hated this girl, but
Mm.
that girl was in my team. I had to talk to her.
Yeah.
I had to go to a hotel with her because we were staying at the hotel to go to a conference the
Was
next
she
day.
blonde, this teammate of yours?
She was blonde, but she was nowhere near as good looking as this other
Doesn't
girl.
matter
Right?
at that point.
So
territorial. Yeah.
Right? But one of her friends who was also there was like, at the time I wasn't having sex with her, right? And she's like, are you sure you guys aren't having sex? Because she seems to be really fucking jealous. I'm like, don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So I thought, if she's going to be that jealous, I might as well shag her.
Yeah.
So started shagging her, and because I thought if I'm going to take hassle,
Mm-hmm.
I want something in return.
Out of it, yeah, might as well, because that would, the original, let's just say your original base level resource might be closing off. You might as well start securing new fields of exploration.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The sex with this girl though.
Which
Oh
one?
my God.
The 40-year-old psycho or your
The
teammate?
40-year-old psycho. I didn't have sex with this, the teammate.
I thought you did.
No, I didn't like her.
Okay,
No,
cool.
I was talking about I might as well be having sex with the 40-year-old.
Right.
Because she's given me so much hassle about going to a conference with another girl.
Oh, this was before you even started banging her.
Exactly, right?
Wow.
So she was already that psychotic before it even started banging her. So she had no right to be territorial, right?
Yeah.
But anyway,
yes.
she took me out,
Yeah.
6 bottles of wine and a meal.
Okay.
Between us, that is not each.
Mm-hmm.
And
I should have said.
And we went home and we played strip Yahtzee. Right? There's no poker, so we played strip Yahtzee.
Love that already.
And then it ending in her doing some poses on the chair, and then us basically.
Did you draw
sex,
like
right?
Titanic style or something?
Yeah.
Something like that with a crayon.
But I mean, I worked out she's been single for so long that she must have had sex with 300, 400 blokes, something like that, if she had that many blokes each kind of year.
You know, if you took the measurements of each guy's cock, there'd probably be about 4 miles of unmitigated highway.
But my God, all that practice made her amazing. I mean, it was basically like what you watch a porn star do, she was doing.
Yeah.
I mean, she basically went so far down my cock. I could feel it bending down the back of her throat.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah? I was like, oh my God!
Pro. She's a pro.
Yeah.
No, but it's just the thing. Even like when I first moved to Cambridge, I dated a lady that was like 9 years my senior.
Mm-hmm.
And she just made me like and love older women, because for me, I just realized that there's no bullshit. There's no fucking craziness. She knows what the fuck she wants. The best thing was, of all, right, she was at my place cooking. And I was horny that afternoon because she was cooking. I wanted to fuck her and everything, but I was thinking, shit, how do I approach this? How do I approach this? So, you know, she was in the kitchen counter cooking, and, you know, I go to her, hold her waist, start kissing her neck and everything. And she's like, okay, what do you want? I'm like, I was wondering, you know, if we could, like, and she, you know what she said to me? She's like, listen, dude, if you want to fuck me, just fuck me. I was like,
yes.
Guess who bent who over the kitchen counter? I loved her for that. You know, she's like, it's a shame because we had that age difference. Because she wanted to settle down and have kids, and I was like 23, 24 at that point.
I guess that's the only problem, if that's what they're looking for. I mean, this American girl wasn't looking for kids. She never wanted any kids.
Oh, really? Okay.
And actually, I'm sure I must have told you this, man, but
no.
Basically...
You're talking about your psycho ex-wife?
Okay, so this American girl asked to marry me.
Oh.
So that we could both go to California.
Yes.
And because I really wanted to live in California, and she was sick of the UK at the time.
Oh, she lived in the UK?
Yeah, she lived in the UK. She lived when we lived in London.
Right.
And and so she just wanted to get out of the UK, but have someone she liked and enjoyed spending time with there.
Yeah.
And she said, I've got loads of friends in California as well, and you know, you don't have to stay with me. You can, you know, I'm sure there's loads of girls that really like you over there, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, she kind of wants to marry me, but she's saying I don't need to have sex with her, and I can have sex with her friends and any other girls that I want to, and have any other relationship.
Sounds too good to be true.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
And this is before she started going a bit psycho anyway. And I was seriously considering, because I was like, this sounds like a fucking good deal. I get a green card to California.
Yeah.
I get to fuck her and all her mates, who I've seen on pictures and are also hot.
My spider senses are going off already.
The reason I couldn't do it,
yes,
I was still married to my ex.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, we were
already
apart, and we were going through the divorce procedure, but legally I couldn't get married again, right? So I had to wait until that was over, and actually that ended up taking 3 years, and by that time...
How does that take? I thought you just signed papers and that's it.
The Wandsworth Council were the people that were dealing with it, right?
Yeah.
They were fucking retarded.
Yeah.
They basically...
paperwork missing.
Said all the paperwork was fine, but then because my ex had moved to New York...
Yes.
They sent it to the house that she no longer lived at, even though she told them that she no longer lived there, and gave them the forwarding address. So then we had to chase that up to her new address, and then they sent out someone else's divorce, which happened to be exactly 12 months after us on exactly the same day.
Yeah.
So someone called Mr. Smith and Mrs. Smith, who had 2 kids, and were breaking up because she beat him up with a wine bottle. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, all that detail was in there, so I knew about these other people's lives. I was like, this isn't fucking me, right?
Wait, how does she beat one up with a wine bottle? What a pussy.
Beat her husband up with a wine bottle.
What a pussy. I wonder if she's divorcing him. Honestly, you come at me with a wine bottle, honestly.
Well, we don't know. He could have just been standing, minding his own business
she probably
at the
just
sink, and she just grabbed it and smashed it.
Yeah, she just ninja'd the guy.
Some people are psychos like that, but so it took us a long time, basically, because they kept on cocking up.
Yeah.
So if it had taken what it's supposed to do, which was 6 months, actually I probably would have been able to marry the American girl.
You would have been dead by now. Do you realise
that? Well, that's the thing. Yeah? So this is when like fate falls into place to prevent you from being murdered by a psycho American girl.
Yeah.
So I'm probably okay for that.
Yeah. No, it just sounds too good to be true, man. If she's that fucking territorial before you start banging her, and then she's telling me, "Oh, it's okay, that we can have sex."
Well, the thing is, she just hated that girl, right?
Oh, right, that one in particular.
Yeah,
couldn't stand.
And I get the impression that she wouldn't mind me having sex with other people as long as it wasn't her.
I suppose if it's sanctioned, then it's relatively okay, because, dude, that would have been perfect. Like, you don't even want to worry about the. I keep forgetting this scientific notion I was discovered about why technically men and women can't stay in a relationship, because your biology kicks in every single time. It's not a Truman effect. It's named after an American president, where he and his wife went to this...
The Clinton effect.
Not Clinton. Coolidge. The Coolidge effect. Yeah.
I don't even know who that guy is.
Yeah, it's one of the presidents, like 1908 or 1915 or something like that. Okay. He and his wife, they go to a farm, right? So they go separate ways because he's the president, so they tell him about the way the farm's been run. The wife goes another direction. So they go to where the wife goes to where the chicken enclosure is and everything, and sees this cock, right? The cockerel just chasing all the hens around, and she was saying like, "Ooh, I wish Mr. Coolidge was that giddy about me and everything." And so it's something about the way she says, "Oh, I'll tell Mr. Coolidge about the way this cock is behaving." And the same thing happened when he was walking around with his retinue, and they saw the same cock still chasing hens and everything, and he was saying, "Oh yeah, I need to tell Miss Coolidge that or something." So something about that. So they used the name because of that particular incident, which actually happened. I butchered the entire story, but the idea is when paired, and mostly in mammals, when paired with one female, fine, initially the excitement's there, it's fucking and banging all the time. Over time, the guy gets bored. And then when you introduce a new female, boom, the same effect comes back in, so he goes and starts banging a new one. And actually scientists in Cambridge, was it Cambridge? I think so. I read it in the Cambridge News like a couple of years ago. They actually tested this with hamsters. Where, do you know the university near the west of Cambridge where there's huge animal enclosures that they use for testing and whatnot?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that
Isn't
era.
that Huntington Life Science? Or
I
something?
think so, yeah. They had this hamster break out of his cage and go into this other cage and just banging all the female hamsters in there every night until they caught him. And they realized that at some point down the line, they caught him in there because he was so tired and he couldn't bang any of them anymore. But when they introduced a new one, kicked off again. So yeah, the Coolidge effect, which effectively nullifies marriage, and I've probably said that in a previous podcast before.
I was having this conversation with a colleague in the car on the way back from a meeting yesterday.
Yeah.
And he was saying that we were talking about basically swinging or having sex with multiple people, as in like I think he said that girls that have done that kind of thing are considered harlots. Not that he thought they were harlots, but harlots. And I was saying about the French girls that we've discussed about multiple sex and everything like that. But
really, was I in that conversation?
I'm pretty sure. I don't know what I've discussed on this or what I've discussed with you. But basically, the French girl that I met before the American girl.
Yes, I've never heard that before.
Who, when I was having sex with her, she was talking about the orgies she had when she was in Australia.
While you were banging her.
While I was banging her.
Jesus Christ.
And how good it feels to have like 4 pairs of hands on you and a couple of cocks and all that kind of stuff, right?
Bloody hell, airtight.
Yeah, right.
I mean, airtight.
Yeah, right. And I was thinking, shit, if I stay with this girl, I'm probably going to get some of this action. And I know that I would have done because some of my friends who were also with some French girls also act like that. And they were talking about, if you bring another girl to the party, mate, fine, you can shag Sabrina.
Yeah.
And Sabrina is awesome.
Wait, is that a name I'm going to blurt out?
Doesn't matter because no one's going to know who I am, so it doesn't matter,
cool.
Right? But this girl is awesome,
yeah.
This French girl, and the other one that I was with was nice as well, and there was another one, and I just thought, we could probably all maybe swing, and so if I stayed with her, and the weird thing was, the colleague in the car was saying I couldn't do that with my wife, I couldn't see someone else with her.
That's where my own limitation comes in.
And that's where I am now with my current girlfriend. I couldn't do it with my current girlfriend because I feel like she's too lovely and innocent and on a pedestal to do stuff like that with her, right?
Way, man.
However, if I was with my ex-wife or any of these other girls,
that means you don't.
It must be about love, right?
Yeah, it has to be.
But then I know my friend who would share his wife really loves her. Like she is the most perfect girl for him ever.
Really?
Right? Yeah.
Are we sure now that he truly loves her?
Yeah. But he does sleep with other girls.
Yeah.
And she knows it.
You know what?
He keeps it quiet, and as long as he keeps it quiet, she doesn't care.
Yeah.
But she knows when she goes away on holiday for 2 weeks, she says, use a fucking condom.
Yeah. At the very least,
And you're just like, but she can cope with that. And so they've got a relationship where even though they deeply love each other, they can swing. Yeah. Whereas all my other ones, I've been thinking, I thought I loved my ex.
Yes.
And I know I didn't really love the French girl, but I could have had a relationship with her. I'm thinking it's different stages of love. You've got 100% love, where you don't want anyone else to touch her. Yeah. She's on a pedestal. She's with you. Everyone else leave her the fuck alone. And then different stages of like even 90% love, you might still be able to think, right, let's have a fucking orgy or let's have a swingers party or something like that.
For your friend and his wife, I got the perfect solution to that. He needs to sit down and watch her get absolutely rammed by a rugby team.
But that's the thing, right? If that happened, he said as long as they will bring a girl and he gets to do the same thing to 12 girls, then he's fine with that.
Really? Would it be fine when 5 of them make her airtight? Do you know what airtight means? You get the idea.
One in every single hole.
Yeah. It's like there's just, cocks in the hair, mouth, nostrils and whatnot.
I mean,
she's just being hosed down like a fire.
You're probably not going to necessarily want to see that, right?
But that's what I mean, man.
You could, that's going full on orgy rather than just swinging. Whereas swinging is usually like 2, 3 or 4 couples, and they each have a different girl, and maybe sometimes 2 of them on one, something like that, rather than an entire rugby team on your girlfriend or your wife,
That would ruin everything.
Yeah, right.
That's like a car crash.
Come back and she's just soaking wet with everything.
Yeah, she probably needs like 3 hours in the bathroom taking a bath with bleach.
But part of me thinks, is it better to have that 90% love and have that kind of sex life, or the 100% love and not really care about sex too much because you love her so much?
Yeah, that's what I want actually. To be honest, I just thought of it now, and it's like none of the women I ever dated, I don't think I can ever do that. I can't. So I imagine like the women I read, all of them are just, I can't see it.
But would you cheat on them?
No. No.
So you wouldn't, if she was here
Yes.
and you loved her, but you
Mhm.
went away to a different part of the world and there was a girl all over you, you'd be able to say no.
Depends on the girl.
Back home.
Depends on the girl.
That's what I mean, right?
Yeah.
So you'd still possibly cheat on someone you love 100%, whereas you wouldn't have consensual cheating.
You know what? I'll say this much. I dated an American once. I'd never cheat for anyone because she was that awesome. I loved her that much. No. Because for me, the way I see it is that, yeah, I can cheat on someone else, but after I do that, to feel empty because I'm like, I've just betrayed the trust of this person that I really feel connected to. So it wouldn't feel worth it. So I think for this one lady, this American I dated, I don't think I can ever cheat on her, ever. Yeah. And then, of course, I don't want to see someone else bang her. I just jump off a cliff or something.
That'd be awful. Fuck off my wife!
Yeah. It's just like, wasn't that, you remember that Martin Lawrence film, and was it Tim Robbins, Susan Sarandon's boyfriend, Nothing to Lose? Where the film starts off, he goes home and he notices like his boss's cufflinks on the kitchen counter because he tries to surprise his wife. Okay. So he goes upstairs and he hears his boss's voice and this woman's voice in the bedroom, and he thinks that his boss is banging his wife, and he just goes crazy and just walks out the door and goes on this crime spree or whatnot. And then ultimately he discovers that it was his wife's twin sister that was there, which is actually valid, but because she was away from the house and her sister came in and she was having a tryst with the husband. But no, it's just that, yeah, that's me, man. If I ever see my girlfriend, that's how my heart would just break. like all those buildings they demolish. Yeah, that's my heart just. But no, I couldn't. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. And it's just, there's something about the savagery of all the dudes. Like the worst for me is if they do doggy style. That would kill me.
What, in front of you?
Yeah, because even though if I'm banging some other chick, and that's how selfish I am, and I see her just being absolutely rammed doggy style by this dude that's, and if it's worse, it's like some kind of dude that knows what he's doing.
Do you know what though? I think you can get over it because I think you feel that way because you've never spoken to anyone that does stuff like that, right?
Teary-eyed.
When I felt like that before I met the French girl.
Yes.
When I met the French girl and realised how little she wasn't being used.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. You look at a guy ramming a girl, and you think she's being used and abused, yeah. And I can't believe that dude's doing that to my girlfriend, kind of thing. But if you know that's what she wants,
yeah, she's enjoying it,
and she's enjoying it, and like this French girl was, because I thought initially after hearing that I would feel sick to my stomach that a girl I like has been absolutely hammered by a bunch of Australian guys.
Australian.
Right.
Australian.
Yeah, because she was in Sydney at the time this happened, right? And I was like, oh my god, these guys just saw a French girl and they fucking ruined her, basically. Yeah.
And they probably did it with a can of
But because she was saying how much she wanted it, and it just made me think, okay, she wasn't being used.
Yeah.
She had all of that under control, and it was all part of her plan.
Yeah.
And so I didn't feel like that kind of feeling in your heart, like
feeling,
no, what's happened to her, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's when I just changed in my head that attitude to swinging and all that kind of stuff. But my current girlfriend would never do it, so there's no point even suggesting it.
Yeah. Don't think I can do that, man. Wow. But no. So how did you get into cars anyway? How did you know that, because we were talking about cars before I hit record. So how did you know I'm a car guy? Because how did you know? Because you're like the one person I know that's absolutely obsessed with cars.
Do you know what was weird is my mum and dad were never into cars.
Yeah.
And so it's definitely not a nurture thing. But from the first few words I could utter, I could tell my mum and dad what car they had.
Yeah.
So I said blue Ford Escort. I could see, right? And so from a very young age, I knew what all the cars were, even to the point of what size engines they had and stuff like that. Whereas other kids, even up to the age of 10, were going, look, mum's car. And the mum would go, no, it's just another red car. It's not the same car as mine. Because other kids just didn't have a clue.
Yeah.
And I just liked them. Red car magazines, everything. It didn't bother reading kids' books. I read car magazines. And I don't know. I have no idea why. I've always liked them. And then all of a sudden, I always thought American muscle cars were rubbish.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I just liked them as well.
Okay.
There was no rhyme or reason to it at all.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I'm in a job like I am. Should have probably been an engineer or something like that.
Yeah.
But, no, don't know, mate. No interesting story, unfortunately.
No.
I didn't just suddenly fall in love with another car and become a car guy. It was just from birth, pretty much.
Just trying to understand that, because it's so fascinating to, like, I'll meet someone. I was talking to one of my other colleagues, and he just told me, like, he's always loved dinosaurs right from a kid, right from when he was a kid, and everyone just jumps onto something somehow, and I'm always fascinated with that.
So what's your thing?
Video games, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so, yeah. I think so. My mom shoved, like, a game into my hands, and I was like, this is amazing.
To shut you up.
yeah, to shut me the fuck up. This is amazing. And I've just been hooked on it ever since. But no, can I ask you another question? A bit of a personal question, actually. Do you recall your first childhood memory?
I do.
Yes?
It's a really random one.
Yes?
And it's from an extremely young age, which most people wouldn't remember.
Yes?
And I only know the age because my mum told me. And it was basically sitting in our blue Ford Escort, broken down on the side of a Fenland road.
Yeah.
And I remember it because my mum was so freaked out about being stuck there. And so it's stuck in my memory. Normal everyday things don't stick in your memory, but when you know someone's stressed about something, it sticks in there. And my mum said, God, we got rid of that car when you were 2. Right? So I know I have a memory from before I was 2 years old, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And I've got other ones where I was probably about 3.5. Me and my brother in a pram, one of those 2-seat prams.
Yes.
And my mum and dad had some of their friends who were also students, who was pushing the pram, and one of them caught the pram wheel on a drain pipe and broke the wheel off, and then they didn't know how they were going to get me and my brother back to the house and stuff like that. And I remember that as well. So it's weird stuff like that, because other people don't. My current girlfriend doesn't remember anything probably before the age of 8.
Yeah, I think what the brain tends to remember, which kind of makes sense from a survival standpoint, is trauma. Anything close to traumatic event, it instantly snaps it and just records on your hard drive saying, listen, you gotta remember this shit, man. My first memory, just butting in, even though you don't ask me questions, I'll just answer my own questions. You're supposed to be asking me anyway. I
was letting you answer your own question, because it's a give and take,
You're not giving, you just take.
What was your first memory?
There you go. Thank you. Jesus Christ. Ugh.
It was implied in the first question. I didn't think I had to repeat it.
That's all right. No, it's just sand. Hot.
No, do you know what? I don't care. No, I'm joking.
Well, let me just grab the mic. No, it's
sand just, and hot.
Yeah, hot sand, really. Like really coarse, the grainy sand. And I remember it just going through my left hand because I just fucked up. It was in Nigeria. Right. And literally me and this kid were in a sand pit in the middle of this bungalow that, just like one of those massive bungalows that multiple families lived in. And right in the middle of it was this open space. There was like this mini courtyard in the middle of the bungalow, and the sun coming in through it, and there was a sand pit there. Me and this kid we didn't even talk to each other. We're just playing with fucking sand and sticks and stone. And I remember looking at him, and he wasn't even looking at me, he was just trying to do the fucking sand dune or whatever. I was like, and I realized, what the fuck are we doing with sand, And his mom called him, so he got up and left. And then my mom called me and said, oh, it's time to sleep. And I fucking hate sleep. I remember that impulse is still in my brain today. I hate sleeping in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So I went to my mom, and she was like, oh, dude, it's time to sleep. I don't want to sleep. And she just come in bed and look. Because she wanted to sleep as well. She couldn't look after me, so you're going to sleep now. I remember being angry as I went to sleep, but I slept. That was my first memory.
How old do you think you were?
I don't know. Maybe 2, 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I remember quite a few of like the key things. Like I remember when we moved from the UK to Germany.
Yeah.
Because we went on a bus and then a ferry and then another bus.
Yeah.
Or the same bus, I guess. And then I remember when we moved to Cyprus as well, because I remember landing in Cyprus and seeing how desolate it was and everything like that. And I even remember the guy's car that he picked us up in. It was a red Honda Accord 1.6.
Why did you go into why did you become a race car driver?
I should have done. My mum and dad, for that kind of thing, you need your mum and dad to fund you, basically, because as a kid you're never going to have enough money to do that kind of stuff. And also growing up in Cyprus, there was no real race courses around and stuff, so it was just go-karting. Everyone probably thought I was just good at go-karting because the people I was up against were heavier than me because they were adults, and no kids really bothered go-karting at the time. So it was only once I got back to the UK that they could see how good I was. But I was probably 21 and I went to Brands Hatch, not Brands Hatch, Silverstone.
All right.
And they have a rally course there. And at the time they had a competition on. They basically, the winner of every day would go into a final. And then if you won the final, you would get a Group N rally car drive, as in you would be the driver for that team in Peugeot, right? So a big deal. And I went, and I'd never rallied before, and that was a prerequisite. It couldn't be professional people; it had to be people who had never done anything like that before. And I got in the rally car and drove it around this rally track. And the guy said, "Are you sure you haven't done this before?" I was like, "Yeah, just maybe driven my own car on a few tracks and stuff, but that's it." And as soon as I went around the first corner, I drifted the car as he meant to in the rally car. And people up in the tower were like, "Well, that guy's obviously been here loads of times before." And I was just going around the course so much quicker than other people that my driver was my co-driver was telling me to go different ways so we didn't get in traffic and stuff. And at the end of the day, he gave me a score of 29 out of 30.
Oh wow.
Right? And I thought, well, they're giving everyone these kind of scores, right? And then I heard other people getting 8s and 7s and 12s. And they said to me, look, you're the best driver today. You need to come back for the main competition because you've got a really good chance. And I just thought, because my mum and dad are very negative about stuff, I just thought, well, they're bullshitting, they're just trying to get more money out of us. But I spoke to my mum and dad about it, and they said, it's too expensive and they're just trying to get more money out of you. So
how
we
much
never
did
did
you have to pay?
It was 500 quid to come back on that actual other day. It was 250 before that. So it was expensive, but in terms of motorsport, that would have been the cheapest way possible to get into it. And so I missed that opportunity, and that's probably my one and only opportunity where you win a competition and you get a drive. And I was young enough that I could have been a world rally champion possibly.
So why can't you do it now?
Too old now.
What do you mean too old?
Well, this is the problem.
Well, your reflexes are shit now.
Reflexes are slower probably than someone who's that age.
Just play Call of Duty.
Fitness level, right?
Start jogging on a treadmill.
To get back to that fitness level, back then I was doing 3 to 5 hours a day of exercise, right? And so if I crashed a car, for example, all my organs would be held in place by my multiple muscles. I'd be fine, right? If I crashed a rally car now, I'd be dead straight away, My fucking organs would just fly out of my body. So
liquefied.
Right? So actually, it's not just how quick you are; it's also how well you'll survive an impact. I am going to carry on, with my own money, try and get into circuit racing rather than rally driving. But
wait, what's the difference?
Well,
so
circuit racing is safer. Yeah, circuit racing is safer because you don't have trees to crash into and die. Basically.
Okay. Right.
But that also means it's cheaper because in rally driving you're probably going to make an error every few times you go out and at least just clip something, even if you don't crash, right? Which means you have to repair your car and all that kind of stuff. So with track racing, yes, other people can hit you on the track and you have to repair your car, but you can control it a bit better most of the time. But it's expensive again. So, and if I do that, I can pay for myself to race for another 2 decades, and maybe never, even if I'm so much faster than everyone else, because I'm not racing in the right championships, I'll never get noticed. So, I don't know. I mean, there's still a possibility, but it's probably passed me by, unfortunately.
Start working out, lifting weights, steroids, treadmills.
But the thing is, they also want really light people.
That's the thing,
because they usually under what's it called? They have to make the car to a certain weight, and then
so to move really fast and not.
So they just put the lightest driver they can fit in there. And I'm twice the weight of most drivers. Because I'm 125 kilos.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I know I don't look it, but because my muscle weighs so much.
Let's keep it at that. Yeah.
And I'd have to weigh so little I'd be a stick figure, really, to be honest. So I have to do it myself. I won't get sponsored by a team. No. I have to do it myself.
Tell you what, after I win the lottery, I'll sponsor you.
Cool, man. Cheers, man.
I was just saying about how, like, just to totally switch topics, actually. I was telling one of our friends, mutual friends, the other day, actually today, that if I was ever to win a significant amount in the lottery, I'll be dead in 2 weeks.
Like cocaine and stuff like that?
No, just pizzas.
Oh, you were telling me?
Yeah! Just a cramming pizzas now, man.
You fucking nutter. The only person I know in the whole world who would spend their entire lottery wins on pizza. Crazy.
Yeah, if I survive the 2 weeks, then I might go big.
So that means, right, if you win $1 million, what you should do is give 800,000 to me to start my racing career, and you can just have 200,000 for pizzas, because that's all you need. Deal?
No. No, I totally disagree with that. No, but it's just like, I was saying, like, there's this case about this, I don't know if we spoke about this, but I don't think we did, about this Russian, they're always Russian, oil tycoon. Was it Texan oil tycoon? One of those, actually. So the guy, married this lady and, built this company without her. She wasn't part of the business. And 19 years later, this company is worth billions of dollars, right? The guy is worth 17 billions, right? So calls his wife into his office one day and basically says, I want to divorce you and everything. And she starts to panic and freak out and everything, saying, listen, dude, I'm going to divorce you, and if you want money, just wrote her a check for $1 billion and gave it to her. And then she ripped it and threw it back in his face, and she doesn't want it, So, and then the lawyers, she lawyered up and started, harassing the guy that she wants more. And the guy's like, listen, I gave her $1 billion. And she said it wasn't enough. And I was just
she wants half of it, man.
Sorry?
She wants half of it.
Yeah, it's always half. Yeah. It's always half. I think I was talking about, I like how every single time I talk to you, we always come back to the whole divorce resource extraction question. We're going to get to Amber Heard in a second.
Well, it depends if you go out with a psycho, doesn't it? Because my ex, we didn't split anything at all. We just were like, I don't care, let's get divorced kind of thing. Yeah. I did end up giving most of the stuff to her, but it's because she probably bought it in the first place, to be honest. I didn't really care. And I know a mate who's, she was breaking up with a guy before they got married.
Yes.
And she was entitled to half the house.
Wait. Why?
Because they'd been, just living together.
Oh my god, so it is true.
Yeah.
So if you live together with someone like for like 3 years,
you're considered together with it long enough in your common law partners.
Oh my god.
Then it doesn't matter that you're not even married. So he bought the house. She put maybe 10 or 20,000 into it in terms of furniture and design stuff and everything like that, right? And then when they came to break up, her lawyer basically said, "You're entitled to half," but she didn't want it.
It's fucking
she said, "No, I haven't put half into it.
Yeah.
I just want back what I've put into it plus whatever interest it is."
Fucking
right?
lawyers, man.
But there's still the guy who she was with went apeshit about that even.
Oh, really?
It's like, you haven't done anything to deserve having any of that. You're like, I mean, he was just a crazy psycho basically, but she was being nice to him. Right? So at that point I just said, you know what, if he's going to be like that, fuck him. Yeah. Take half his fucking money. She didn't, because she didn't want to do that. But, so it doesn't matter if you're married, you can still take half of it.
That's fucking bullshit, man. How's that fair? How's that fucking fair? What the fuck?
Mate, half seems fair enough now.
No!
So I know people that have been fucked over so bad.
Yeah.
Like one guy he's got 2 kids with this psycho Polish girl.
Yep.
Right?
And I'll tell you why 2 kids. This is how nature balances things out. The hotter they are, we talk about this, the more psycho they are, the better the sex is. Because if she's normal, the sex is just okay to subpar. But if she's psycho, the sex is like fucking nirvana every single time.
She's not that good looking though, I don't think. She's probably got a decent body, but anyway, so they got 2 kids. They've got divorced. She's kept the house. And he's had to move out and get himself another house.
Yes.
The kids live in his old house with her
while
she's sucking the cock of another guy
in
that house.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
and she was the one that was cheating in the first place.
And she triggered a divorce.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's suddenly got to buy a new house.
Yep. And still fund everything.
And he has to fund the 2 children.
Plus.
But he has them 2 days every 2 weeks, and then over the summer holidays more. Right?
How's that fair?
Right. But even while he's got them, he's still paying her money to feed them. But he's feeding them as well.
Yeah.
Right? And so she just takes all this shit, and then she goes on holiday with her bloke while he's looking after the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And is just getting shagged by another bloke.
Yeah. Does she work? Do you know if she works?
She doesn't bother working. She's a fucking lazy bitch.
There you go.
He works.
There you go.
He gets something like 60% of his salary ends up going to her. He's got fuck all money because he had 2 kids with a psycho bitch. But that's fucked over.
Yeah, how's that fair?
Yeah.
That's the same thing I keep telling anyone. I'm like, no. It's not fucking fair, is it? Honestly.
He's been shafted so bad, you know. He literally, he'd be better off if he just killed them all. I know that's horrible.
It is horrible.
But
that's why those things happen.
Yeah.
I was just reading an article today about this guy that had an altercation with his girlfriend in the car, and they've been drinking. Fucking stabs her in the car. And then for some bizarre reason, probably now it makes more sense, you know, drives all the way back to his ex-wife with the kids and everything, and fucking kills her as well. You know, just like a scorched earth policy. And it's just like, and you know, at work, my intern was reading this article where in Spain, this chap, I think it happened last year, literally used some kind of fucking weird buzzsaw, like a DIY tool, to literally gut his wife and kill the 2 children. And as horrible as that sounds, and I'm like, that is horrible. And I basically tell him, why do you think he did it? So we kept reading the article, and it was like, oh, the guy was divorced, and he didn't live with them, and he was paying her alimony and child support and everything. We don't know if she was dating someone, but I'm like, there you go.
This is it. I mean,
there you go.
This guy that I know, you just think, surely if she's the one that triggered the divorce by cheating on him
somehow,
right?
Yeah.
How the fuck can any of it be his fault?
Yeah.
And he shouldn't have to pay anything.
That's the thing,
right? And you say yes, he'll have to pay for his kids.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the only thing I'll do. I would literally fucking tell the court right there and then. I'm saying, I'm not fucking paying. Take me to jail. Take me to fucking prison right now.
I'd be like, I'll pay my kids.
That's it.
Stuff, but. I won't pay it to her.
No.
Because what she's doing is she's feeding the kids fucking Asda baked beans.
Yeah.
And then she's taking all the other money and buying herself clothes and going out drinking with this other bloke.
Yeah.
So even that, just giving the money to the kids is not fair.
Yeah.
I'd be like, she cheated on me. I'm having the house and the kids.
And the kids.
She can fuck off and do whatever she wants.
But the court's
and that should be fair.
That should be fair, but the court's not going to hear that.
She's a terrible mother as well.
That's the thing. But I'll tell you what though, there's probably some hope in that tunnel. The light at the end of the tunnel, because you remember, like I was telling, like my intern at work, we're talking about that case, and he was telling me about this other case he was reading. Actually, I don't know why he was reading about it. Actually, I should talk to him. And he was saying about how in the UK, actually, it was a UK story. This judge told this lady because she divorced the husband, she triggered the divorce, right? They have 1 kid, and he's been paying child support and alimony and paying for the house that she lives in and every other thing for like 5 years, and because the guy's like a horse veterinarian or whatever. So after like 5 years, the guy was like, oh, you know, he goes to the court and said, listen, Your Honor, I mean, what's going to happen to me after I reach retirement? Because he's like 56 or 57 at present, she's like 51 or something. And he was like, what's going to happen to me if I retire? I'm not going to have any money left. Because she's taking fucking everything.
Yeah.
You know? And the court basically said, okay, yeah, fine, we got you. So they basically ordered the wife, saying, okay, he will pay you for another 3 years, but that's it. You have to fucking work. Because they have 1 kid and everything. And, you know, so he's going to pay you for another 3 years, and then he's going to stop because you have to fucking start working now. And she was saying about, you know, the lawyers were arguing and saying, oh yeah, you know, it's going to, you know, damage the lifestyle she's used to. And you know, her going to work might damage the kids' upbringing because she won't be there and everything. And you know, and I remember like I was reading.
Well, that's what normal parents have to do.
Exactly. And I mean, it's so fucking selfish. Isn't it damaged already that the father's not there to look after the daughter as well?
Yeah.
That's already fucking damaging, but she doesn't look at it that way. And part of the analysis of the amount of money she was getting, £17,000 500 a year on fucking handbags and shit, right? And then 34,000 for just general living expenses and everything. And that's on top of the child allowances, on top of the stuff he helps her pay for the house for. And I was just looking at it, I was like, for fuck's sake,
bitch.
You know, it's just like, that's why
I mean, it happens the other way around as well, right?
Yeah.
Because I know someone who's who basically used to get beaten up by her bloke.
Yeah.
Had a kid with him. He used to beat up the kid as well.
Oh, fucking hell.
So she left him, right? And then he didn't pay her anything.
Yeah.
But he's the reason that they've left.
Yeah.
She's struggling, you know, to
Make
run a business and bring up the kid.
Yeah.
And now she's got another bloke. But he didn't pay her anything for 5 years or something like that. And the court managed to track him down and make him pay it.
Yeah.
And plus whatever else he needs to pay now. And people like that fucking deserve it.
Yeah.
I don't care if his life's fucking ruined and more than half his paycheck's going to her. Because he fucking beat her up.
But that's the thing, it should come on a case by case basis.
Yeah.
And I think the problem, and I think something the judge in this previous case I was talking about mentioned, is just lawyers, man. Those guys that need to make money. And in some cases judges as well, because they get a cut from these divorce proceedings and, you know, so the spoils of war type scenario. And it is a fucking problem right there. So now you just petrified me now. So if I have a girlfriend and I live with her for 3 years, we're effectively married, and she can just gouge me at any time, just gouge my asshole out.
She can do.
Imagery.
I mean, the problem is you have to choose a girl that you can trust. I mean, I know that even though my ex was a bit of a nutter, I knew that she would never ask for more than half of anything. And she would definitely, like, put it this way, she owned the car, theoretically, so she could have taken that. But she said, you paid for it, and you've paid for its maintenance, so it's yours. Right? So she's not a psycho in that respect. She's fair. And we broke up in a decent way. And I know if I broke up with my current girlfriend, the same thing would be true. So we've got no prenuptials or anything like that. You know, she's living in the house that I'm paying for, and she's not. And I guess, you know, all the other stuff that we got, she could just take half of it, but I know she won't, because I just know her in that respect. Unless I cheated on her, right? And then she's a scorned girl, right? But in a way, I kind of deserve it then. So I'm not fussed about guys getting fucked over if they're assholes.
That's the thing.
But if they're just doing a normal everyday life,
and then
this bitch goes
psycho cunt
cheats on him, then fucking gets everything. That's just crazy. You know,
that's
that would enrage me to the point of where I just want to strangle her.
And that's the thing, though.
But then I'd have never gone out with a bitch like that in the first place.
But how do you know, though? Sometimes they just
the first
flip.
time I ever saw her, I thought, what a fucking cunt, right?
She has Western bitch face.
Fucking cunt. Why has he even made that bitch pregnant? That's what I fucking thought the first time I saw her.
The sex is good.
Oh man,
that's how nature balances these things out. Otherwise, they'll die out. They would die out, but it's just nature just makes them extra crazy. it's like someone just sprinkled fucking ecstasy and cocaine on your dick or something while it's happening. So it's just that extra.
I think you've had bad experiences with girls, man. I know plenty of hot girls that are not psychos.
Yeah, then fucking introduce me to them or something. Honestly,
they're all married. Now that's the thing, because they were lovely, so they've been married.
They got snapped up.
Yeah.
Dude, I just meet fucking elite level bosses, crazy psycho operatives from time to time. I don't know.
Where are you going to find these women? That's your problem. Tinder?
I'm not good looking enough for Tinder.
I don't know. I think you're letting yourself down a bit, mate. I think you'd be alright on Tinder. I think you get a few. I don't know which one's the one you want, the left or the right.
Yeah.
I think you'd be alright. You might as well try it. Will it hurt your feelings if you get
Yes.
Oh.
No. It's just I think Tinder needs your Facebook thing, and it notifies Facebook so people can tell that you're on.
Really?
Yeah, that's why I don't want to use it.
That sounds a bit weird.
That's why I don't use it.
I don't know. I've got no idea how to meet girls. I just somehow meet them.
Yeah.
You need friends with friends.
Yeah, you
get
get
girls,
that network.
You know, and that's the main thing. That's where I guess I've met all my girls, because there's girls that were completely out of my league and wouldn't have looked at me twice in a nightclub. But they end up really, really liking me because they know me as a person after, you know, maybe a couple of weeks of me being in a friend group or something like that. And that's what you need. You know? That's why so many people end up going out with other girls at work.
Yeah. Because they know them.
Yeah.
All the time and everything. Yeah. It's just for me, I think, it's the disadvantage of like moving from country to country. You've not had that time to just build up that network of social friends.
That's even better. It's even better.
Yeah.
Because all my new girlfriends came from finding new friends of groups of friends. Yeah. Because the whole thing was I was with old friends when I was with a girl. So even though those other girls liked me, I couldn't go out with them because I was with their girlfriend. Yeah. So then when we broke up, then I went to my friends who had girlfriends, and there was a new group, and those ones I could date.
Yeah.
So if you move around groups enough, then you will. You don't need a couple of nights, mate. Just talking to someone. You've got a reason to talk to them because they're in your friend group, and that's it. That's what happened with a French girl. One night in a nightclub, next night shagging.
Woo! Oh God. Yeah, I suppose you're right. I don't know. I think also it's just I think I shoot myself in the foot non-stop all the time because I just have this crazy random hobbies I pursue, like this podcast being one of them, for instance.
And conspiracy theories.
What do you got against conspiracy theories anyway? There are some conspiracy facts, that do happen. Yeah.
What,
so,
like fluoride in the water to dumb down people's brains so we all follow what the government tells us to do?
Absolutely, yeah. People stop drinking and see what happens. Brexit. There you go.
Okay.
You see, that's why we need fluoride in the water.
Right. Okay.
Facetiousness aside. No, but we were talking about just to close on out because I know it's. Do you have to run?
Yeah. Well, I've got more work to do, really, but
okay.
You
can spare us another 4 or 5 minutes.
Do a few more minutes.
Yeah. No, it's just like I think I recall we're talking about it. This earlier this week we talked about terrorism and whatnot, and then I think by Tuesday morning we were talking, and I was telling you about this attack in France that the priest got his throat slit, and you didn't even know about that.
No,
and I was just I wonder what's happened now that we're having this conversation. It's probably
something else might have happened. I mean, this is it. We were talking about how it's almost been every single day for the past couple of weeks or something, hasn't it? Since the Bastille Day.
Yeah,
and then you had. Istanbul wasn't really terrorism, but it was people dying still.
Yeah,
and then,
the coup?
Yeah, the coup. Yeah. And then maybe there was a couple of days, but someone on the Sunday then got killed in Germany on a train or something, didn't they?
I think, yeah.
Yeah,
that's the Reutling, and I've been there. That's why I went to see that psycho chick I was telling you about.
Right.
That exact same town, man. I was there.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Then there was someone else on the train, someone else in the street.
Yeah.
Something happening in Munich.
Kabul. Do you know something happened in Kabul?
Kabul.
98 people just eviscerated car bomb.
That never gets on the news.
No.
That's the thing, isn't it? You actually look at the stats of people dying in Syria, in Iraq in Kabul, Afghanistan.
Yeah.
It's more people in one day than Europe has had in the last few years.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even get on the news over here.
I believe it's some form of tribalism, to be honest, if we want to think about it. Because Europe is mostly Caucasian.
Well, the thing is, it's right when people say, you have all these people saying,
pray for France.
Asian lives matter and stuff. They're not Asian lives.
Black lives matter.
Well, Black lives matter, but they're also doing the one Syrian lives matter and Afghani lives matter.
Every life matters.
The thing is, every life matters, but it doesn't matter to me because I don't know them.
There you go.
Right? I don't know the culture in Afghanistan or Syria. So when people die in Afghanistan or Syria, it's not that I don't care. It's that I don't know anything about them, so I've got nothing to link my feelings to. Yeah,
but they're human beings. Though.
They're human beings. Right? So I still care.
Right.
But what I mean is,
no.
I don't necessarily need to see it on the news every day because I guess it's not a part of my life. Yeah. Whereas France and Germany are a part of my life because I go there quite a lot.
You have friends there.
I have friends there. It's close enough that we have friends. A lot of us have friends in those countries, right? So when something happens there, you can, what's the word? Relate to it because they're the same kind of people as you, enjoy the same kind of things. You know them, you talk to them, you've been in pubs with them and drunk with them and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So that's why the European stuff matters more to me.
Yeah.
Than the stuff happening in Syria and Afghanistan. It doesn't mean I don't care at all about that stuff. It's deeply upsetting, right?
Yeah.
But it's more deeply upsetting to me because I'm going to go to France this summer and I'm going to go to Spain this summer, and I don't want to be caught up in a terrorist incident. For one thing, you know. Whereas I would never go to Syria or Afghanistan or Iraq anyway.
Yeah.
So it's a completely different thing. So whilst people say these lives matter, yes, they do.
They do.
But I think they're getting upset by the fact that people aren't as shocked at what's going on there as they are in Europe. But it's just standard. Yeah. I bet the guys in Syria and Afghanistan and Iraq have it on the news every day about the people dying right over there. But I bet they probably, well, I don't know for sure, but I bet there's not as much on the news over there about what's happening in France and Germany and America and stuff. It probably does get on there because the Western world stuff does, right? Yeah. But I bet they don't care too much about it because they're like, who fucking cares if 80 people have died in France? We had 300 people die in the mosque yesterday. Just last week, So they don't care in the same way that we don't care. In that respect, they still think it's bad, but they're not as fussed because it's all perspective.
Yeah. That's also one of the reasons why I never go into the whole, put a flag on my fucking profile page or anything. Because I'm like, if you want to do that, you'd be swapping every 5 seconds because there's people dying all over the fucking planet all the time. So for me, I never let myself, and I'm pretty much emotionally damaged from all the psycho cunts I've been running into over the years, that I'm like, my heart's just cold now, literally. Because for me, I'm like, that whole saying about Stalin when he said like a death is a tragedy, but like 1 million deaths is a statistic. Yeah, that's for me now, unfortunately.
I mean, I've got to the point now where I pretty much only give a shit about my other half. Yeah,
I think that's all.
If she dies, my life is over.
Yeah.
If other people die, I can get over it.
Yeah.
It annoys me every time someone else gets killed by these terrorist fuckers. Yeah. But if she gets killed by a terrorist fucker, I am fucking going to Syria and killing all of their family.
Before someone takes you out.
I'm not going to forgive and forget and allow other people to fight that fight. I'm going to go over there myself.
You know what I'm worried?
Don't we just said all this stuff on the podcast?
Well, hey, it's allegedly it's hypothetical.
Yeah. But that's, I don't know, if someone kills the person you love, some people can forgive and forget, right? Yeah. But I mean, she's everything to me. Yeah, my world is ended if she's gone, especially because someone else has taken her without even giving it a second thought. Yeah. If it's a car accident or something like that, that's one thing, you can get over that. It's terrible, but you can get over it. But when someone's taken her for no reason, because she's a different race or religion to them, and they don't know that she's probably the loveliest soul in the world, then because if there wasn't any race or religion in between it, they wouldn't have done it.
What I'm afraid of is because there's always a balance that must be, like, I think I mentioned this to you about like how both the United States and Russia have, Jesus Christ, at least 10,000 nukes between them. But at the same time, because they know they have nukes, they are very, very anxious to use them. They try not to get to that level because there's a kind of weird balance there. And in America, you can see the whole thing, fine, you see YouTube videos of, black people getting shot in the most weirdly crazy ways. And now people have taken it upon themselves to shoot police. Yeah. So now every single time a police, if he wants to rough handle someone, it's always at the back of his mind that, okay, I might get away with this, but someone's going to die because of what I'm doing right now. So in a way, that is coming, this kind of balance being brought now. And I'm not saying it's a good balance, but I will just finish this point before you jump in. What if the same thing now happens in Europe? Because I was talking to my mom about this the other day, and I basically posited this particular notion. What if, for instance, in France, right, there's a very high concentration of like people that believe in the Islamic faith in France. What if some crazy French guy decides, when he sees the next atrocity on a French city somewhere, and he knows there's this ghetto in a French city where he knows a lot of people, either from Syria or wherever, and they're all Islamic or whatever, and he knows they live there. What if he gathers maybe a couple of people with him? They just load up on fucking machine guns and just walk in and start shooting everybody.
I'm just surprised that it hasn't happened already.
That's the thing. I'm surprised it hasn't happened, but that will happen at some point because human beings, and I was explaining this to a friend of mine because I love this guy. He's more like a tolerant person, saying he's more empathic, and I keep telling him, saying, listen, dude, I appreciate that Europe is Europe because of civilization. You guys are very civilized, and because of that, you built civilization. You built a very good high standard of living. But I'm telling you that you need a modicum, or if not a decent level of savagery to maintain it. Because otherwise, if You say you want to be civilized, even though someone slaps you, you want to be civilized and not fucking punch them right back. That guy will keep slapping you until he overpowers you.
This is it. People think that eventually they'll die out or they'll leave you alone or something because they'll realise that they're the arseholes and you guys are nice people. That's not the way it's going to work.
It's not going to happen.
These ISIS guys are going to keep on striking forever. Yeah. Because they believe it's a holy war and it'll take them 1,000,000 years to win or something like that.
So
it's
a long
carry
game.
On, right? So I was thinking the same thing probably this morning that you just said. Like, what happens if someone just starts blowing up mosques, killing Muslims everywhere,
just left and right,
you know,
indiscriminate?
You think, will that actually stop them? Will they start thinking, oh, Muslims are dying, or are they just so psychotic that they'll carry on?
Oh, they'll carry on.
You know, but then it turns. Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's why Europe won't do it, because
Europe
all
won't
you're
do
doing
it. People will do it.
But all you're doing is actually just killing more people.
Yeah, now it's on.
Unless you think
that
some, because what I heard is the French got 10,000 people on their risk register. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as far as I'm concerned, if you're on a risk register,
get deported.
You've fucking done something to get put on that, right? You've said something about ISIS, that you're pro-ISIS or whatever, and they've picked it up, right? So all those 10,000 people, they're not just a risk factor to me. They should be fucking...
I would say deported at the very least.
You know, I mean, people say, oh yeah, but you can't do that. That's like pre-crime and stuff like that. You can't arrest someone for not doing it.
At this point, if you're on that risk list, But
it's like this kid that wanted to go to Syria, got arrested and sent back to France, and they let him out on fucking day release. You know?
Oh god!
You know, as in, like, between 8 and 12 every day, he could just go out and do what he wants.
Yeah.
He's already said he wants to go to Syria. He's tried to go to Syria, and you've had to arrest him to bring him back. You stupid fuckers, right? You should have just left that little cunt in jail indefinitely.
Yeah.
And human rights.
Again,
right?
Your weakness of civilization.
Okay, human rights.
Yeah.
Let him go to Syria then.
Yeah. And don't let him back in.
Yeah. So there's you're probably fucking up his human rights by not letting him go to Syria. How can you stop someone going there if they want to?
If they want to, yeah.
So let the fucker go to Syria.
I say, yeah.
Yeah.
Remove his citizenship.
It's unfortunate for the Syrian people who are not ISIS.
Yes. They have to do that
there's
shit.
an extra person that's going to attack them.
Yeah.
But if you're going to not let him go to Syria, then you have to lock him up.
Yeah.
That's his two choices. He's locked up or he goes to Syria.
Yeah.
And that's, as far as I'm concerned, that's a decent human right. You've still got a choice. You fuck off to Syria or you stay here in jail for the rest of your life. And then he wouldn't be able to kill that priest.
Yeah.
And so those 10,000 people on the risk list should also be given, not necessarily that choice, but, you know, it's so difficult to say, isn't it? But because you don't want to go into kind of being the Gestapo.
Yeah.
And just arresting people because they're at risk.
No. Just let them go. Just deport them. Destroy their citizenship, and by the time they're coming back, you take them out.
But because
now they're
of the way
terrorists.
I know that the Western world works, they're so careful before they put someone on a risk register that it's almost certain they're a fucking terrorist if they're on their register. To me, because
otherwise everyone will just put everyone.
Yeah.
When
I worked in my last job, it was in mobile communications, right? And there was a SIM card.
Yes.
And this SIM card was supposed to be, have I told you this before?
No.
It was supposed to be in a fire alarm on a wall. So hence it never makes calls, right?
Yes.
Because all it does is just, it's there, it calls 999 if there's a fire, and that's it.
Yeah.
Well, this SIM card started making calls to Saudi Arabia, Afghanistan, and Iraq. So it's obviously fucking dodgy, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not just someone's making calls to those three countries, because normal people live in those countries, right?
Yeah.
So yes, you're allowed to make calls to those countries, but if you steal a SIM card out of a fucking fire alarm, you're doing it because you're trying to be secret about something. So there's obviously something dodgy about those phone calls. That fucker should have been arrested straight away and put in jail. He wasn't. He got no real proof. You're like, come on, guys. You know, I mean, I don't know any more about that because they don't go into detail about what they're doing. But I never saw anything on the news about a suspected terrorist being arrested in Leeds or wherever it was. Right? So as far as I'm concerned, he probably didn't get arrested. I mean, I don't know. You don't really know, but but that's that's the kind of thing that the police find. So anyone that's done something like that and put on a register a risk register. Actually, that should be a jail register to me, because they're planning to do something.
Yeah. For me, the way I say it, and for me, I'm not going to pretend that I'm the most civilized person out there. I accept civilization when it makes sense. I reject the weaknesses of civilization. I'm not going to say if someone breaks into your house at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm not going to, because I'm supposed to be a civilized person, try and reason with them to not kill me and rape my wife and kill my kids or something. No, I will fucking kill that person straight up. And then if the police wants to arrest me, yeah, fine, I don't give a shit. So my logic is, okay, in the old guy that wants to go to Syria thing, once we let him go, destroy citizenship, because now he becomes an enemy of the state.
Yeah.
The moment he's trying to get back in the country, take him
arrested, or taken out.
Take him out. For me, it's just no arresting anymore. Because there's this guy called Dan Carlin, and because he does a history podcast, and he was talking about this whole McCarthy Red Scares in America during the 40s and 50s, where they were, this guy ramped the entire country up and made them afraid of communism and whatnot. And the conundrum being, if the idea, because it's always ideas, if it's the idea of communism, which was considered an intellectual contagion, how the fuck do you fix that? Because it's already an idea someone's head. So if this guy is so radicalized that he's willing to go to Syria and get absolutely fucking brainwashed,
you're not going to be able to turn him back.
You can't turn him back. So and he doesn't see anyone that's outside the religion as a human being, because that's essentially what they're saying.
Yeah.
So he wants to kill, and so take him out. Yeah. Why are you trying to arrest him? Yeah. Why do you let him walk in and just fucking take him out right there?
Well, I agree with you in that respect, and I agree with you the whole house breaking in thing as well.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's against the law to kill someone for breaking into my house. If I think he's going to hurt my other half, I'll kill for her.
Yeah.
And if I go to jail because I've killed for her,
so be it.
I'm happy that she's definitely
safe.
Alive.
Yeah.
And I'll be upset that the legal system hasn't worked for me, and ruined my life. But at least she's still alive, and I've done the right thing by my rules.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't give a fuck about anyone else's rules.
That's the thing.
And I'm a good person because I'm a good person, not because of what the law says, right?
Yeah.
And law wouldn't have to be made up if everyone was a good person, frankly.
Yeah.
But so all this, we can't detain him indefinitely because it's against the law.
Rights, or something.
To a point, you're right. You have to reduce civilization when you're fighting against uncivilized people. Yeah. Because it doesn't work.
No. If they refuse to, there's this quote from this guy that ironically, so I know you have to go, that he and I didn't get along, so in the end he removed it from his Facebook. But back before I actually had a conversation with him, he had this post by some philosopher that said, you can't tolerate intolerant people because there is no point. When you're trying to reason with them, they don't want to be reasoned with. You try to tolerate their behaviors, but they're intolerant of you. So at that point, there is no need to do any of that. You just fight them. At that point, you fight them.
And I'm like that. I'm intolerant of the intolerant.
Absolutely, likewise.
Yeah. Anyone that doesn't allow other people to get on and do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah, I don't want
as long as it doesn't harm others.
Yeah.
Should go fuck off and die.
Exactly.
Yeah. If girls want to go around shagging a load of guys,
that's all I'm doing.
And you think that means they're scum and they can die, then you're scum and you can die.
Absolutely. What the fuck do you care?
Yeah.
See how we got
fired carry on, couldn't we?
I know.
Let's start on Saudi Arabia now. Fucking it, no.
No. I could do this, but it's I understand that you have to run off and then you got stuff to do. But we already did an hour and 12 minutes. But
that's all right. People don't really listen to much more than that, do they?
No, I think this is a very good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think on SoundCloud, I don't know how you do it. You just have a lot of female fans. Because I get a lot of female listeners liking this episodes whenever you're on.
Yeah, it's like my Twitter account. I'm still getting more and more porn stars on it, and girls in bikinis. I'm like, what's going on?
What is going on, man? I was like,
talking about cars. Why are girls watching that stuff?
Maybe the porn stars like cars as well.
Maybe they do.
Yeah, they like hard dick and fast cars. Oh, dude, Audacious. We're gonna have to cut it here. I love having these conversations with you, man. It's just like
me too, dude. It's cool.
Yeah, it's really nice. Awesome. And like I said, I was talking to you about this offline. I mused about making this the last episode of this series because I want to change the format. And I noticed, because I listen to a series of podcasts as well, and I have to admit, the only other podcast that I find interesting is Bill Burr, that he does on his own, because the guy's fucking crazy anyway. He's a Boston comic. But every other podcast I listen to, it's always a conversation with someone else. And
Yeah.
I always find that very interesting. So I have 2 things to do because I always give myself a personal goal to reach episode 20. And now this is episode 20, so thank you for helping me reach that. So I'm thinking, big 2-0. So I was thinking of stopping here and then maybe creating a new podcast series where that's all I focus on. It's just interesting conversations with people.
Do you know what? It is more interesting listening to conversations because if you hear 2 people talking in a coffee shop, you want to listen to them.
Yeah.
If you see a guy talking to himself in a coffee shop, you just think he's a nutter and you don't want to listen to him.
Oh, thanks. That's what my friends think of me now on Facebook. It's fucking nutter.
It's crazy, this dude.
Yeah, so I'm basically at that crossroads now. But for anything that, for all that's worth, I think if this is to be the last episode of the Sounds Legit podcast, the best one, the better one out of all.
Yeah, the other one's rubbish.
Just shit. No, those guys are right, I think.
I don't even need to listen to it to know they're not as good as us.
Exactly. If this is to be the last episode, I think it's a fitting end to this series, and I'll have a think about it. So, guys, if you're listening to this, there won't be another weekly episode. There might be something, but the format's going to change if I keep this up. I don't know. I'm looking at my monitors like people are looking at me now.
They might be.
There might be. The screen
You've got a camera on there.
Yeah.
How do you know it's not on?
NSA twice. Oh god, it's like the other thing with all those things happening in America, right? Where people are fucking shooting people in nightclubs and whatnot. I'm like, where's the fucking NSA and the data collection?
Yeah.
I can't with the mental.
Yeah, they're arresting that hacker guy in the UK who's got Asperger's syndrome and just wanted to hack into the NSA or whatever it was and didn't actually do anything wrong, but they're not fucking
catching the guy that wants to go shoot people. Yeah, I don't know, man. But no, see, we could jump back in.
No, let's not do it.
No, let's not do it. Stop it, man. We've got to stop. But yeah, to say, so I want to say is like, thank you for my 2 or 3 listeners that have been following this whole thing, and I'd like to thank Audacious for helping me make this happen. I think you contributed to this series a lot. And like I said, if this is to be the last episode of this series, I think it's a fitting one. Not that I'm saying it's over, but you never know. But if I am to continue this series, or if I make a new one, it's all going to be focused on conversations. And I don't mind. It might actually give me an incentive to travel. So I just travel to my mates in random countries and just have a chat with them.
Be good to see what other people think of the similar kind of stuff we're talking about.
Yeah. So, I'm really happy with this one. And thank you a lot, again, Audacious, for helping me out. Thanks to my 2 listeners out there.
Three.
Oh, bless you. That have been keeping this going. And I will end this here for episode 20 of the Sounds Legit podcast. Yeah, guys, have a nice one and
keep safe.
Be safe. And I'll speak to you soon. Take care, guys. Do you wanna?
Bye.
Oh, okay. Bye, guys.
He said it all. It's fine.
Yeah.
See you later.
All right, guys. I'll see you later. Bye.